Introduction to the booklet. This booklet results from inputs from NCA gender focal points in the Eastern African region. The gender focal points from the different countries in the region meet several times annually to share experiences, build their capacities, plan together, and support one another. It is from this interaction that the idea to document our work took root. The booklet, which started as a documentation of best practices and lessons learned from NCA's work around gender-based violence, has expanded the understanding of violence beyond physical and psychological harm to include other forms of structural violence as visited upon mainly women by poverty, the impact of HIV and AIDS, women's exclusion and marginalization in the economic and recovery processes in their countries, and by harmful traditional practices. From experiences across the region, we have learned that collaboration with significant decision makers and opinion leaders such as religious and clan leaders, politicians, especially female parliamentarians, and custodians of culture goes a long way in facilitating the acceptance of new ideas in given communities. We have also learned that GBV has many dimensions, and there are very well pronounced gendered effects in concerns such as HIV and AIDS and in harmful traditional practices such as minge. As seen in several of the case studies presented herewith, we see that several countries in the region have adopted community conversation or community dialogue as a methodology to bring to the fore matters that were previously viewed as taboo and to mobilize and engage concerned communities to identify strategies and solutions to such matters. In almost all countries in the region, illiteracy, certain cultural and traditional beliefs and practices are identified as key factors hindering women from attaining their rights. Similarly, women's economic dependency is also identified as an aspect that enhances their vulnerability to poverty, exploitation, and to many different forms of violence and abuses. The situation of war and conflict is also seen as a fertile breeding ground for abuses against women. The breakdown of law and order, of social structures and institutions, which is occasioned on many communities living in conflict, has significantly eroded gains made by women and opened them up for various forms of violence, especially sexual abuse, which further puts them at risk of contracting HIV and AIDS. As a way forward, it is recommended that NCA continues with its advocacy work and to promote the replication of some of the successful methodologies and strategies emerging from the countries in the region. Additionally, NCA needs to upscale its efforts in combating GBV and other practices that marginalize and oppress women. It is our hope that the experiences documented in this booklet become examples that can be replicated in other similar situations, first within our region and generally within other regions where similar concerns may arise.